Hey folks, Real Honesty with John Ritlin. I'm John Ritlin, and unfortunately another wrestling legend has left us all. Ivan Koloff. Apparently the cause was liver cancer. Ivan Koloff, the Russian Bear, he's born in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, as opposed to Montreal, Maine. You want to talk about one hell of a heel, that's one hell of a heel. This probably won't be long, much like my George Animal Steel tribute. But the guy was the guy was great. The guy was world class. I've only seen some of his footage. But man, he was good. I mean, and he was given the name the Russian Bear for a reason because of how vicious he was in the ring. But also the whole Cold War thing. And he just really had that great look with the beard and the gravelly voice and the way he talked. And he was just fantastic. Like, he got into the WWF in 1969. And then he was in the famous match where he beat Bruno for the title in the Garden. Where Bruno actually told Vincent J. McMahon and told anybody, involved with Vince, like, I'm done, get this off of me. You know, he was done. He'd been the champion for like 7.5 years. It was January 18th, 1971. Almost 10 years before I was born. But I do remember seeing the match. I've seen it on a couple DVD sets. And I also saw it on YouTube. And my God. It's just amazing. Just, you could hear a goddamn pin drop. You could hear a pin drop in that arena. That's the kind of heat that Ivan Koloff had. And he was great. I mean, he was only champion for 21 days. He dropped it to Pedro Morales. So he was basically what the Iron Sheik was from Backlund to Hogan, just about 12 years prior. or 12 years. That's what would happen actually 12 years in the future. Well, actually 13 years in the future. But if you think about it, that's a big moment in history. I mean, taking the title off of Bruno, who was so beloved in the Garden and so beloved in the Northeast. Pedro Morales, who also was beloved in the Northeast, the original Triple Crown champion, IC, World, WWF, and Tag Team champion. And, Koloff did not really, Koloff left the company in 71. But he did compete against a lot of really good talents. He did fight again in WWF in like 75, 76, then 78 to 79, and also in 83 again. But he was also in the National Wrestling Alliance. And he won regional tag team championships. He teamed with Don Kernoodle. I mean, that's a great talent. Don Kernoodle Don Kernoodle was a great talent, who's often forgotten about. And then, actually, I think one of Ivan Koloff's most famous thing later in his career was when he got Crusher Khrushchev, who was Barry Darsow, and also Nikita Koloff, who maybe wasn't the best talent, but with a man like Ivan Koloff, with the great lineage that he had, and the great heel that he was able to get these two younger guys, and they were able to put dents in teams like, the Road Warriors and the Rock and Roll Express, like at, I believe, Starrcade 86, 87. The Russians teamed up on Dusty Rhodes, who was the top babyface at that point. Koloff, even near the end of his career, was part of Paul Jones's faction. And he was somebody that actually, you could always rely on him to have a great match and get proper heat on people. He did wrestle in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. If you think about when he wrestled, I mean, he wrestled from 61 and he retired in 1994. So he was only 52 when he retired, and a lot of guys go way, way longer before they retire officially. But Ivan Koloff, especially his promos when he, when he teamed with Crusher Khrushchev and Nikita Koloff, if you think about how great Ivan was just on the mic, just absolutely wonderful. Like, the guy just could make you hate him, but he could also back it up because he had these two big bulls behind him, and he also had the experience and still the wrestling ability to back it up. But he was, of course, the weaker of his team because he was older, especially by the time the Russians came along. He was in his 40s, and that's not knocking the guy, but the guy really did have his own great, unique style, and he didn't really do much once he retired. I mean, I don't believe he was ever named in the WWE Hall of Fame, which is a damn shame. At least not that I'm aware of. He did die of liver cancer, which is a shame. He was actually an ordained minister, actually became an ordained minister later in his life, which is really, really nice and a good way to have a second life and spread a word that, meant a lot to him. So yeah, okay, I mean, do I know a ton about Ivan Koloff's career? Absolutely not. But do I know enough about some big moments? Like, yeah, him being part of the Russians in the NWA, Jim Crockett Promotions, and also beating Bruno in the Garden. That's something that's going to live forever. I mean, it was 46 years ago this year, and people still talk about it. Because you could literally hear a pin drop when that title change happened. But Ivan Koloff was great. It's a great heel. Not just a great foreign heel. He was just a great heel. He was a Russian Bear for a reason. He was vicious in the ring. But according to a lot of people, even with the the personal issues he had and other stuff, and by the way, I apologize. I've been battling my own illnesses. He was very open about any problems that he had with life on the road and issues that he had. Ivan Koloff, a hell of a guy. By no means perfect, none of us are. But left a hell of a legacy as one of the top heels, especially in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. So, that's what I gotta say. So do you agree? Do you disagree? What are some of your favorite Ivan Koloff moments? Leave them in the comments. My Twitter link is also in the description. Like, share, and subscribe if you would like. And I hope you enjoyed this. It's just a real shame that so many wrestlers are leaving us. Hopefully, 2017 can go by with a lot less, if no more, wrestlers leaving us. Even though, unfortunately, we all have a finish line. And at least Ivan Koloff got to be into his 70s. Like George Animal Steel got to be almost 80. And Chavo Guerrero Sr. got to be almost 70. Nicole Mass only got to be 52. Hopefully, wrestlers are able to live a long, full life and not pass on way too soon. So anyway, rest in peace, Ivan Koloff.